Hello and welcome back to episode 38 of A Shot of Weeb. I am the Epic Wob, one of your hosts as always, and I am here with my co-host, Seaweed Ambassador. Can I ask something really dumb?
That's me.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Does your name have a "the" on it?
Not anymore.
Okay, because mine does.
It used to. Yes, but mine does not anymore.
Okay.
I dropped that a year ago now, I think. Like right before we started the podcast, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm the Epic Wob. You're just a Seaweed Ambassador then.
No, I am Seaweed Ambassador. That's my legal name.
That's your... Yeah. My full name's Wobbert, but I don't usually tell people that.
God, I hate that. Oh, God. Ooh.
Oh, it was worth it.
Not prepared.
It was worth it just for that look.
I was just not prepared at all for that. Oh, my God.
I've had that one up my sleeve for months.
God, well, I'm glad it worked. Oh, man. All right, well, what did we watch this week?
We watched the first season of Symphogear for A Shot of Weeb. I think we've clarified this before, but I wanna say for the premise, for anybody who hasn't been here before, if you're a new viewer 40 episodes in almost, we're glad to have you.
That's fair. Yeah, hell yeah.
This is a show where we watch a show and then later in that evening, usually the same evening, because we're both bad at scheduling our time,
especially me,
have ourselves some shots or drinks or some combination thereof, and ramble on about it, review it a little bit, talk about why we love or hate it. Mm-hmm. As such, I do believe we should get on to the namesake of our show real quick and go ahead and have our shots. What are you having this week?
So I've got the same thing I had last week, the Smirnoff Sours, green apple, and I'm pairing that with a nice little French Arnold Palmer Spiked. Please sponsor us.
French.
Thank you. No, he's not actually French. He's an American golfer, and he made a sick drink, dude.
French.
No, I said he's not French. I was like trying to be fancy. You know, like how they do in some of those cooking shows where they're like, "Well, you want to pair this fish with this nice."
You're just sipping on a nice Bordeaux.
Yeah, exactly. I just don't know wine at all to come up with. Rosé. That's a wine.
What the fuck country is mine from? What's Smirnoff? Hold on.
Isn't that Russia?
Is that Russia? I mean, it's vodka, so. I don't know. That's a very good question.
I don't know, but it is gluten-free.
Answer in the comments. What country Smirnoff is from? Probably one of them. Where at the...
No, it's produced in the country of Connecticut. Just found it on the bottle. Norwalk. Yep.
My favorite Russian city of Connecticut.
Yeah.
We're at the end of a saga here for me, though, because I'm not trying to get sponsored by Smirnoff. I hated the bottle I got. This is the last shot. I don't have to touch this anymore after this one right now. And I've got that sideboarded with a Pikachu mug full of 7-Up. Mm-hmm. Because
fancy.
The store didn't have Sprite.
Is that Italian?
Probably. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah. 7-Up sounds Italian.
Actually, it's fucking
7-Up.
Portuguese.
That's actually like French, or not? Yeah, Portuguese. Damn, that's fucking fancy. But let's get into these shots.
Yeah, let's go ahead and stop making things up.
Get yours out of the way. Yeah. All right.
Goodbye.
Kanpai.
What's the intonation? I always get it wrong. I mean, I suppose
it's kanpai. Hey, kanpai. But like a lot of things in Japanese, you say flat.
It's done. The bottle's gone.
Nice.
I've been working on that for like a month and a half. Yeah.
Man, I'm still not used to taking shots again.
I'm excited for the second half because I know what shot I'm having for the second half, and it's going to be so much more pleasant.
Yeah, because it is not watermelon.
It's not watermelon
vodka.
Smirnoff that I got on sale.
Yeah. Oh God. All right. Well,
So
so I don't know if you mentioned earlier, actually, when you were describing the show and how we have it laid out. I don't know if you mentioned that we have a rotation of every like 3 weeks.
Well, I didn't think that was particularly necessary for the basic premise, but yeah, so we cycle between how we pick our shows, and this week was a show that neither of us have watched. Which one of us suggested this? Do you remember? I think it was just in like our document, wasn't it?
It was in our document. Yeah, I remember because I remember at the end of our last episode where we were talking about the show. We were like, "This is one of the first. This is like one of the more recent ones." We're finally getting it using that document we made.
Yeah.
I think I'm the one who added it to the document, but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
neither of us have seen it.
We made a Google Doc like a year ago when we started this of like shows we might get to, and then we never touched it aside for like 2 shows.
No, I think we made it before the Kill la Kill episode.
Yeah,
episodes
definitely before Kill la Kill, and I think
the only time shows have been like taken off of there, I believe is like when it's been an accident.
Yeah, you accidentally picked Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt. I think I may have actually gotten Real Life off of that list.
That's possible. Yeah. That is very possible.
Zombieland Saga might have been on there as well, actually, now that I think about it. Because I thought about talking about that one like a long time back, and then we didn't.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Either way, I think the first time I heard about this show would have been, I think it was senior year of college. It was pretty recently. Unless I'm very confused, I'm pretty sure my senior year roommate like mentioned it as a show he'd seen, liked. I don't really remember. And I was like, oh, that sounds cool. Music battle. That or I'd heard like the OP a bunch of times through various things. Because I think one of the OPs is like super big. Either way, I had like a passing knowledge of what Symphogear was, but not really. I would have told you music battles. That's the best I could say.
Honestly, that's all that I probably could have said too. I mean, I've known about this franchise, oh God, since high school. I'm pretty sure. But I never watched it, just for whatever reason. I don't know why fully, but it probably just because it had quite a few seasons.
Yeah, because there's
5 seasons.
Definitely 5. I was looking into that earlier with my roommate.
Yeah.
I watched this show in my living room, with the TV being near a bay window that I can't close the blinds on, and I regretted that.
Yeah. Yep. That makes sense. So when you heard about the show, like, have you heard about the meme around Symphogear?
What? Oh, is there a meme around Symphogear? What is it?
Yeah, it's just watch Symphogear.
Oh.
That's it. And like fans will just say that after like everything.
I mean, I guess we did that.
Or they'll just say that. Yeah, like we finally did that.
Partially.
But like, yeah, well, we watched the first season.
Yeah.
So that's at least better than some people.
Let's be real. This might be a little bit of spoilers. Let's be real. Are you going to watch any of the other seasons?
I might give them a go at some point, only because I've heard that it's a, and by heard I mean off of one AniList review's little snippet. Like I didn't even click through to the review, but it said something like an okay start to a really good show.
Okay, so it's supposed to get better?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
I don't really know.
I didn't know that. I have no plans to continue.
Well, I don't have any plans to continue in recent times. or not recent. What the what's the
Upcoming?
What's the word? Yeah, like soon.
Soon. You forgot the
That's
word
the word.
soon.
Well, no, I was thinking of a different word, but that one will work fine.
Yeah, no. I mean, I might double back to it. Apparently, I'm on course to hit 100 shows seen as per anime list. So, like, I'll take it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I will admit, I did have a bit of a misconception about this show because when all I knew was like music-based battle system, I was thinking like I don't remember her name. I was thinking the band girl from Kill la Kill. That was the kind of thing I had in mind.
Oh.
That's
yeah.
not how this
Okay.
is.
No, not at all.
Not remotely.
That would I think that would have helped for me.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I was really hoping the music would be incorporated into the battles, which it's not. Literally, the only thing the music has to do with it is they have to sing while using their powers to keep them powered. Except for when they don't.
Yeah, except for when there's no more lyrics to the song and there's just like a lull.
Yeah.
And the music's somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
But before we get like real into this, just rip it to shreds. No, I don't think we're gonna do that. But one of my friends, Cheese, he watched this not that long ago, because one of his friends convinced him to watch it because his friend really liked it. And when he today, as of recording this today, it was we were watching Naruto, right? Get on every week to watch Naruto, and we were like running a little late, and I was like, hey, I'm almost done with this episode. I was like 10 more minutes and I'll be good, or I can pause and we can just start. That's fine. He asked me which show, and I told him. I was like, I'm watching Symphogear. He's like, oh, I don't respect that show, and immediately called.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and it was great. But he sent me this tweet, right, which I think is fairly true from what I've seen outside of like my friends who've watched it. Like, it's the people like that I just see on the internet who like watch it once and then you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
The tweet is just most of the time when someone says you can never go back after watching whatever show they mention, I usually think they're being pretentious. But with Symphogear, that's 100% the case, because nearly every friend I've seen check it out become completely unrecognizable afterward. Which is true. It's fucking weird. It's like the same thing. It's like the same phenomena as VTubers had.
One of my friends has
like,
started VTubing. Two of my friends have started VTubing, actually.
Possibly three.
Possibly three? You?
I don't know. Like, you just don't have counts of them, apparently, at this point.
Well, one of them is someone you don't know.
Yeah, well, that's definitely not a hint at the future or anything, for sure, dude. But
I think he's talking about himself, but I don't know.
I'm not. No, but so the VTube, when you start watching VTubers like me, at least from my personal experience, I'd watched a couple videos on VTubers, like one from Core and then like a couple others just here and there from other creators I liked.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, that's kind of a cool thing. I doubt I'll ever, really get that into it. Like, it doesn't seem like my thing.
You are invested.
Yeah, I have the Gura jacket.
Are you wearing the hat right now?
Yeah, I am wearing the hat right now. Hold up. So for our visual viewers, you can see that I have the Pecora inmate hat from when she went to jail for all of her war crimes and being too cute. Oh God, I'm gonna lose it. And it also has her laugh on the side. It's great. I love the hat. And then I definitely did not spend over $100 on Gura's birthday merch. No, sir.
Jeez,
that's,
dude.
Definitely not.
I've not bought merch very often. I think I only have one merch item that I can think of regarding like a content producer, and that's my Unis Honest long sleeve. Because by golly, I was there for that one. I'm gonna tell my grandkids about that one day, and they're gonna think I've lost it.
Because there's no evidence.
Dude, Unis Honest was like a year and a half ago at this point? Like, it's been a while. It's been a hot minute. No, not a year and a half. It'd be a year.
I say it was last year.
It's been about a year. I was still working at my previous job when the finale, when they did the 12-hour live stream, because I skipped work to go to it.
Oh, I remember that. I remember when you told me about that.
I mean, we could probably just check my Twitter. They got me to tweet. I tweeted some culty stuff like, "We were here, we remember."
I remember seeing that. I was like, what the fuck?
You know, I watched all 12 hours of that live stream, dude. I was there for it. I only watched about half of the episodes. Either way.
But yeah, no, I've seen Symphogear fans kind of get this way, and Symphogear fans are very like vocal about Symphogear.
Mm.
I don't know if you've really seen them at all.
You know what? I'm gonna do something. I'm going to message. I have Discord open. I'm going to message my senior year roommate and ask him if he had a Symphogear poster, because I think he did.
Oh man, we got a live interview for the not live. This is like 3 weeks late now, but like.
Well, yeah. Sorry. No, actually,
for us interview.
I'm used to recording the episodes 3 days before they come out. I forgot we've got actual distance. We're acting like professionals.
Oh, is that what this is? Oh,
so
God.
I'm gonna keep this open on like the other monitor, just to keep an eye on it and see when it comes through.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh wait, he's typing like immediately.
Oh man, fellas, this is live on the scene reporting with a real life Symphogear fan.
Okay,
this is crazy.
His response was, "Can I see it?" So like maybe not.
Oh.
I might be confusing it with his Data Life poster.
That's possible. Because that's one thing I wanted to mention, but like I'll bring that up later. Actually, you know what? No. Whatever. Like the suits that they wear in this show are very similar to like Data Live and like Infinite Stratos. And like but like I would prefer either of those shows over this one. I don't know exactly why. You know? I don't know how you feel about it. But like feel like there's just not enough there for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think I just realized something very stupid. I'm sorry to detour, but I want to say this before I forget. I just realized I may be thinking of the like 3 Data Life posters we had in our room. He had a lot of Data Life posters.
Nice.
I didn't have near as many anime posters. I had the fucking, what the fuck's it called? With the armor and equivalent exchange, Full Metal Alchemist. Good lord, I had that wall scroll. Mm-hmm. I think that was the only anime poster I had back then. Everything. Oh no, and Attack on Titan. Sorry, I had the Attack on Titan poster. Yeah, he had 3 Data Life posters. That's what he just messaged me.
All right, well, breaking news, folks. We didn't actually get an interview with a real life Symphogear fan. In fact,
run downstairs and pester my roommate. He didn't like it.
Yeah.
He watched most of it with me, and he's just like, ugh. Because
yeah,
he has a very salient point about one of the big problems with anime. He has a very salient point of anytime there's anything remotely fan servicey, which the show does quite a bit, he just walks in and goes, "She's 15."
We won't get into that conversation today.
Yeah, that's a discussion on the flaws of anime as a whole. I don't think we're ready for something that in-depth.
There's a lot more nuance as well in that conversation, and we're not here to have that one.
I don't think I'm capable of that conversation. I don't have the thinking capacity.
Yeah, that's for sure. So,
okay, let me hide Discord so I don't just get stuck keeping an eye out for memes.
So at this point, I think it's pretty clear that we are not big fans of Symphogear.
It wasn't great.
Yeah. I like one of the. I really would like to if you're listening to
you
this
about
right
to say
now,
you'd like to unsee the show?
No. That's not it. That's not at all what I was about to say. But since it's still fairly early into the show episode, if you are a Symphogear fan, please type in the comments.
4-page essay.
I want to know exactly like what it is you like about it. It can literally be as simple as I like the music. That's fine.
The music was pretty good. It was pretty decent.
The music's pretty fun. Specifically, what's her name? Chris. Specifically, Chris's.
Yeah, dude. Her
favorite.
battle music is like the best one by far.
Yeah, hers is great. I'm completely serious. If you do like really like Symphogear, I want to know why. Like,
yeah, tell us why.
I'm not gonna shit on you, because like I don't get it. And I'll probably be kind of harsh in this episode. Just know that's not towards you. Like what you like. I also, oh man, in my list, oh god, I've got some stuff in there that you would probably not like.
If Seaweed dislikes a show, that dislike is never aimed at the fans of that show unless it's me.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because this well, like, especially if you dislike a show that I love, you motherfucker, giving Dead Leaves a 4.
Make Dead Leaves good, and I'll rate it higher.
They can't make it better. It's already perfect. That's why it's a 10. But
yeah, no, I wound up with this show. Like, I didn't have that much that really fascinated me during it. However, I did. You know, I'm a sucker for anything remotely lore related. Like, I could recite to you. There's a bit of a touchy subject at current moment, but I could recite to you like the entire Warcraft history by memory.
Yeah.
So like if there's anything remotely historical, lore based,
mythological,
that kind of stuff I can get into. There are things called relics in this show. That's the Symphogear are based off of relics. There's non-Symphogear relics. There's relics that attack. There's relics that just kind of do things. I geeked out about the relics. I have like a full, I mean, it's only a sticky note, but it's like crammed full, where like I wrote down the name of every relic that showed up in the season and then tracked down its name origins. That was a fun little adventure.
That's what you were doing your research on.
That's what I was doing my research on. And I actually, there were some of these that I couldn't come up with anything better. I'm going to wait to dig into this until later, until we have like, I think we should like blaze through the story and then I'll probably double back onto this. Like, because most of these were pretty straightforward. Like, Gungnir. I don't have much to say about Gungnir. That's Odin's spear. It's Odin's spear. Odin's spear, Gungnir.
Mm-hmm. I believe there's also another anime just called Gungnir.
Probably. But then there were some that were also, like, super weird. I watched the Crunchyroll version. Crunchyroll has a different sub from what's official. They called one of the items Cane of Solomon. The official title is Solomon's Cane. From what I can tell, Solomon, I assume... Okay, I said I'm not going to get into this. I'm going to get into this one specifically. I had kind of assumed it was going to be tied to, like, I don't know, like Mines of Solomon or something like that, the book. It's not, as far as I can tell, because King Solomon didn't really have a staff that was super important that I can tell. He had mines, he had, like, the seal. However, what I did find is there was a 1920s comic, ? I think it was a comic series, about a character called Solomon Kane. And I wonder if that's what it's referencing. And Solomon Kane did also have a cane. Solomon Kane had Solomon's cane. So I wonder if that's where it's from.
Interesting. I want to look him up right now.
That one came up pretty inconclusive. But again, there were some like really obvious ones like Gungnir and the Dragon of Revelation. You won't guess what the Dragon of Revelation is referencing.
Is it from the Bible?
It's the dragon from the Book of Revelation.
Whoa!
This actually... So, to get into the story, to bridge into the story... What is it with us and watching shows that have to do with the Tower of Babel? Or Babylon. Why? This is like the third one. Why does this keep happening?
Wait, is this the third one? What was the other one?
I'm counting Babylon and Lupin.
Oh. Yeah, I forgot about Babylon. Probably for the best, honestly. I think it's just because the Tower of Babel is a very popular story.
Yeah, it's weird to see it spreading up, especially like compared to our Lupin episode. This is the second time in like 3 weeks that we've had a Babel episode.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's to
interesting for sure.
To use the Zoomer slang, it's kind of sus that it keeps turning up. I'm gonna go die in a corner. That was the worst thing I've done.
Sus was a word before Among Us.
Amogus. No, you gotta
already a thing.
You gotta fit in with the kids, yo.
No, I don't.
I don't know why I'm acting like I'm old. I'm a Zoomer, whether I want to admit it or not.
No.
Zillennial. I will start the border generation argument if you don't stop me now.
No. That's what I was about to say, is that we're in the border generation.
We're in that
Which is
like
why we don't relate to either side.
we're in that 4 years span that just feels left out of everything.
Because they are.
Are too old to keep up with the Zoomers, too young to be grouchy with the millennials.
Yeah.
Better than Gen
So
X
that's
though.
why I just-
People forget Gen X existed.
Yeah, that's true.
We
Yeah,
just-
they did get the rough end of the stick.
I don't know. Hey, but us Zoomers get to be marked, or no, not us Zoomers, us Zillennials. Our particular troop gets the fun distinction of graduating college during fucking COVID.
That's true, dude.
We're finally getting a graduation. Our college is doing like a shindig get together.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna get to go to it because I think I'm gonna have to work at it because I'm food staff at our college.
I told my mom the only way I was going is if they paid for my flight.
I want to go, but I might be on staff, which would suck.
I don't like after the live stream that they did for us, like I don't want to hear anything else. Like I heard enough.
When we did our graduation live stream, I was so non-invested that I put up the graduation live stream and then just played WoW on the other screen.
No, okay, so I was like at my parents', right?
Mm-hmm.
It was before I'd moved to South Carolina. Oh man, I just doxed myself. Oh, great, it's a big ass state.
See, I have to be careful. My state has like 5 people.
I was almost gonna say something, but no, I won't say it. So I was living with my parents, and my mom was like, "Hey, do you want to watch your graduation live stream?" And I was like, "Not really." She's like, "Okay, cool." And so we didn't watch it, but I got curious, and I tuned in for a little bit, and I don't want to say it on here. They were talking about some weird ass shit for a graduation speech, though.
Yeah, it was a really heavy topic that got brought up, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
all right, okay.
It's like, yeah, way to celebrate our graduation.
I'm just gonna keep playing WoW, you know. I don't know. I queued in.
Yeah.
I hopped in a. Oh boy, this one was a trip to finagle. I hopped into like a Facebook call with my dad and my grandma, who cannot figure out tech at all.
Uh-huh.
And we watched it together. And it was really boring. We got to the bit where it's just one of our professors reading the names as they popped up on screen, and I could have animated something better than that, honestly.
Yeah. We went to a college that did that.
We have a huge
like
graphic design creative media department.
Yeah.
Oh, that hurt. But yeah, no, it was kind of funny because there was a similar one. So we've mentioned I was in broadcast major. I had to do a documentary, and so we had this showcase where all of our documentaries were played back to back. I think I hopped in a call with the same 2 people for that one, and we watched a doc, and ours came up. We finished watching it, and my grandma went, "Is that one yours?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Can we stop watching now?"
I mean, look, I understand. Like even if I was showing something to my mom, like if I had made a documentary,
It was
like,
pretty
final
boring.
project, like even if it wasn't, even if like I thought it was like really good or something, I would still be like, "Hey, I'm not gonna force you to watch this. The ghost is back."
The fuck did my alarm go off? That thing's not been enabled in months.
The ghost is back.
Yeah, that was that alarm clock.
I didn't even know you had an alarm clock.
Yeah, I've had that alarm clock since I was like 3, and I don't think I've used my phone alarm for the last like 5 years. I've not used that alarm in like 7 years.
It's a ghost. But with that, let's get back on topic.
Oh, I had one last comment about the doc.
All right, one last comment and back on topic.
If we pop off on this podcast, if we get internet famous, 2 of the 3 producers of my document are famous internet celebrities.
Oh, that's true. I didn't know 2 of them are.
I don't know if well, I'm counting myself in this case.
Oh, if we, okay, I got you now. I'm on page now, baby. Okay.
Nah,
All
I don't think
right.
I'm allowed to say who the other is. I'd have to like ask, and I'm too lazy to do that.
Yeah, we won't say that. Dox them. You
I
know.
mean, I'm pretty sure everyone
But-
already knows, but whatever.
Whatever. So Symphogear.
Symphogear. How far into the episode are we? And we've been avoiding talking about it. Why do we keep doing this? This episode shouldn't be Wob and Seaweed review anime. It should be Wob and Seaweed pretend to review anime while they ramble about their old days.
Yeah, the old days.
The old days
year
of 2
ago.
years ago.
Oh man. Yeah. So.
Who's our main characters?
So I guess our main characters are Hibiki, Tsubasa, and Chris.
Chris in the second half, but yeah.
Yeah. Miku is also, or Kohinata, is also a very big role. There's a lot of characters, surprisingly.
There's only like two like main characters, three if you count the dead girl. That was harsh.
Kanade.
Kanade, there we go.
Well, I would not count her as a main character because she dies in the first episode.
Yeah, she does do that.
Spoilers, dude. Oh man.
Spoilers for Symphogear.
So no, but I would count Chris as a main character.
Yeah, she starts off as antagonist but swaps over.
Yeah.
It's like a no antagonist. I was gonna say secondary, but we don't know that yet either.
No. Yeah, but then there's like a lot of quite a few supporting characters that have decent sized roles, like Miku, who is Hibiki's friend.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Genjiro, Sakurai.
Is Genjiro the
big buff man?
Yeah. The director. There we go.
The Red Ranger.
Fucking love him
because he always wears red.
He's so good.
Sakurai and then Shinji. I would probably put those as like, and Kanade.
Wait, actually, who's Shinji? Oh, Ogawa. Okay.
Yeah, Ogawa. And then Kanade, I would also put as having a pretty big role. Even though she's dead, she still shows up later.
Yeah, in like flashback scenes or dream sequences, stuff like that.
Yeah. So. That's. But like, there's some other characters that have like more bit roles.
Yeah.
You know, like the friend group.
Mr. Glazer.
Who?
Mr. Glazer, he's the guy that's like supposed to enable the worldwide tour. He shows up in like 2 scenes, and Ogawa is just like Mr. Glazer.
Oh, I did not remember him. Oh, how did we forget one of the biggest supporting characters of all, the United States of America?
Yeah, I was actually gonna say that the U.S. is important in this one. We're the bad guy. Are we the baddies?
I don't think that. I'm not sure, because I don't think so. No, I don't think they were. I'm pretty sure that.
I don't think
that
our
they
role
were.
is good necessarily, though. I mean,
But-
remember the traitor. The traitor aspect is working with the U.S.
But remember, the U.S. was doing that to figure out who the traitor was. They were
guess
using that means, so it's like it was like a spy role.
Yeah, but the U.S. also like just straight up marked the security director. There was a group of Americans that did that.
Was it?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember.
Because
Okay.
a group of them, I think, were working for Fine. Fine's like the actual big bad of season 1. We don't know
Yeah.
much about her until the end.
Yeah, and Chris is working under Fine.
Yeah, at first.
But yeah, so our main character, Hibiki.
Hibiki, yeah.
She goes to a concert that Kanade and Tsubasa are performing at. They are in the group. Wait, nope, I remember it.
I know
Wait. No, I do remember it. I'm not looking at the screen, by the way.
Do you need a hint?
Give me a very small hint.
2.
Was it like 2 Weiss? Something like that, isn't it?
No. No, should I just say it? Yeah,
Oh.
you need to crack out some linguistics here. Some,
No, I got it. I looked it up. I
ow,
looked it up.
cheater.
Well,
They're part
I
of the,
don't
they're part of
fucking
the,
know
they're part of the band
German.
Zweiwing. I know Einzwei Dry because of Pokemon.
I don't know that. Like, I thought the second word was the German, and the first word was English.
Well, I mean,
But it was
yes.
the other way around.
Oh, well,
So
yes.
saying two fucked with me.
What, did you just want me to fucking say Zwei? That'd give it away.
No, no. Your clue is good. I'm saying I didn't get it.
Either way, so there's these things called the noise that you can't kill them unless you have the plot armor. Literally plot armor. It's the Symphogears. They attack the performance. A lot of people die, and then Tsubasa and Kanade activate their battle armor and start punching them in the face.
Yeah, they go magical girl transformation.
Yes.
And then start fighting them, and then they get separated. Hibiki was supposed to go with her friend Miku, then something came up, and she had to go by herself. And then she gets caught in some crossfire. Not crossfire, technically, but, like, she doesn't get, like, killed immediately.
But she wasn't able to
Kanade
escape
comes
with the
in.
main evacuation.
Yeah, and so then Kanade comes in and helps her out, and then is also like, don't fucking give up on living, dumbass. And she's like, oh god, that's all I needed to hear. I won't die now. you know, typical anime stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just shitting on Symphogear with that one. Like honestly, that's just typical fiction.
We're already about to get to one of my first complaints, though. So.
Oh really? Okay.
No, I mean, it's a first complaint, but it also like hinges on some stuff from later. So I'll probably have to address. I can mention the complaint now, but I'll have to address it fully later.
Okay.
Either way, Hibiki gets like sent to the ground. So Kanade comes over. She's like running out of energy. She doesn't have much more fight in her. So she does what?
She climaxes.
She does her climax song.
Yep.
Which fucking
there
blows.
isn't really a sexual orientation in this way, like in this show. For that, we're just fucking 8 years old.
Yeah.
I just want to make that clear.
I don't know. This is a pretty fan servicey show.
It's not that bad compared to others.
I mean,
in the similar genre.
Compared to others that like are intentionally going for this. I will talk about my opinions on that in the final category. I have strong thoughts about the fan service aspect of this show in particular.
Okay.
So she fucking blows herself up. That's what the climax song does. Is it like kills everything in the area or all the noise in the area? Sorry, but the strain is strong enough that like the person doing it will probably die, except for when they don't. We'll get there.
Yeah.
So she dies. And there's like an explosion again. Tsubasa is like super torn up. The Kanade is dead. And then we time skip 2 years. We time skip 2 years, and now Hibiki has a scar on her chest from where she took a bunch of shrapnel. The noise attacks again, and I'm going to skip around for sake of time. It turns out Hibiki now has a Symphogear. She activates it by accident when she starts singing the song she heard Kanade sing because she's trying to defend a little girl that got lost.
Yeah.
She can't really...
Their activation songs are... I don't know if I like them or not.
They're interesting.
Because it's like... It's like monk music. You know what I mean?
It's kind of like a Gregorian
it's
chant,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
All of them, they
you get what I
say
meant.
they say the name of their... They say, like, something that's different for each of them. They say the name of their Symphogear, and then they all end with the same word that I forget what it is. It's like an alternately pronounced English word.
Do they all end in Tron?
I think they all end in Tron, or Tron, or whatever. Well,
I
actually,
didn't
no,
think
there's
they
one
did.
that doesn't. Well, no. The first line ends in Tron on almost all of them. The second lines will start to vary around. I think
there's only like one line.
I think. Well, no, there are extended
activation.
versions when they do their climax song because they start with the initial activation line, but then they continue.
The climax is different.
Yeah, but the first
their activation song is the first line.
Yeah, the activation song is the first line of that song, and they all follow the same format of like something, item name, and then usually Tron. I think they're all Tron actually.
I didn't think they were. I thought they were all different because some of them are 4 words, some are 3.
I know there's at least 2 Trons.
Okay, well, there's only like 3 or 4 Symphogears in this season.
Yeah.
So.
I
didn't remember that at all, but I could be wrong.
Hibiki activates it by accident. She gets taken into super secret battle HQ under her school. And it turns out the reason she has it is because she has... And they see this in the detective signals. They get the power spike for Gungnir. And they're like, no, that can't be. Gungnir is dead. Because that was Kanade's call sign. And Symphogear. Turns out, when she died in that fight, in that explosion, the shrapnel that pierced into Hibiki's chest was the remnants of Kanade's relic. So now she basically inherited the relic and, like, is somehow magically able to use it because most people can't use relics.
That's the main character shit. That's fine.
Main character
I don't really
reasons.
have an issue with that. Yeah.
My first complaint, I don't understand why Kanade sacrificed herself. Like, she didn't need to, I don't think. Like, there wasn't that much left, and Tsubasa was still in, like, perfect fighting form. She was doing fine. They were doing fine. I don't know why she went and nuked herself.
No, I don't think Tsubasa was going to be able to make it over to them in time, and they were all... there was a bunch of noise about to come attack them directly, and it would have killed Hibiki. Even if Kanade survived, Hibiki would have died. So she did that to protect Hibiki.
I don't know. The odds still felt very winnable, in my opinion. I could be wrong. Like, I
didn't see it that way.
I feel like the sacrifice was a questionable choice, but whatever. It sets the plot into motion.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. And then we meet the HQ. Tsubasa doesn't like Hibiki. Do you want to take a bit? I'm talking too much.
Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah, Tsubasa doesn't like Hibiki because Hibiki has Gungnir, and Gungnir is Kanade's. And so there's some noise that comes out. They gotta go fight them. And they fight them. I don't know. What the fuck else happens in this episode? It just is like every episode, that's what happens.
I mean, I'm not going by episode. We're already like 2 or 3 episodes in.
Okay.
Hibiki said the stupidest thing. Like, I feel like a lot of Tsubasa's aggression is, I mean, like, I understand where she's coming from. I think it's misplaced because she hasn't, like, sorted through her grief. Whatever, that's a human thing. But then Hibiki shoots herself in the foot. She's trying to encourage Kanade to not hate her, and Tsubasa to not hate her. And Hibiki's just like, it's okay, I'll work very hard, and I'll take Kanade's place. And I'm like, that is the worst thing you could have said.
Yeah. I think her wording in the subtitles was, I'll work really hard to be Kanade's replacement. And it's like, what the fuck?
I think both are said at some point. Like, it's either way, that's just no. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Pretty fucking dumb.
Yeah. There's a lot of social inability in this show.
Yeah.
Let's just keep blasting through if you're okay with that. Like, I don't feel like
fine.
I don't feel like we need to dig in until the end, especially since neither of us were too fucking... Oh, first episode started in the future, by the way, with Miku, like, at Hibiki's grave. So, like, we know Hibiki dies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because we get that, and then we get the, like, 2 years earlier scroll when they go to the concert.
Yeah. I did that. I remember not liking that because that makes no goddamn sense until literally the last episode.
I don't mind it.
By that point, I had completely forgot that had happened.
I remember that happened. I didn't mind that too much. I mean, I don't really know the point of it. Like, I don't know why you're telling us ahead of time that she's dead. Because, like, I feel like that takes away some of the... I don't know. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's good either. I don't feel either way about that particular aspect of it.
I do think it's bad.
Um,
Especially because in that episode, is when Hibiki almost dies when she gets all the shrapnel in her chest, and literally all of the blood in her body comes pouring out. But
Yeah,
apparently
it's a
she's
lot.
fine. Yeah. That's.
And she nearly dies again in episode 2 because Tsubasa's like, you can never stand up to Kanade, and just straight tries to kill her. If fucking Lysandra hadn't jumped in and blocked the sword, she would have just died.
Lysandra.
Pokemon reference, Big Red Man.
Okay. Gotcha. Genjuro.
Yeah, the director. I fucking love him.
The Red Ranger.
I really don't have much written around this part of the show. Like, I have nothing in episode 4 that I care about. I complained about fan service. Because it got pretty bad in episode 4.
Episode 4, that was Kanade's backstory.
Was it? That's the one where we
Yeah.
first see Chris when she's as a bad guy, because she has the armor of fucking
Yeah, the Nehushtan.
yeah
The
armor of Neshtan.
Yes, both of those things happen in this episode.
Okay, I didn't write much about the backstory, and then I complained about the fan service during the Neshtan fight because we get this like really, really long ass shot of one of the characters, and I'm like, no. And that's also the sequence. I hate the sequence. They need to the bad guy needs to restrain Hibiki. She's trying to capture Hibiki. So she summons some noise. They're these big dopey looking birds. And they waddle over. And they shoot goo at Hibiki. And I'm just like, no, I don't like this. I didn't like that.
Why?
It was clearly meant to look suspicious, if you get my drift. Like, that was... I looped that in with the fan service. That's what I was complaining about, particularly.
Oh, what? No, I don't agree with that at all.
It was.
It's... How else would you have something like that tie them up? And restrain
Find
somebody.
any other way to restrain them. Literally just do anything else. Have them hold her. I don't care.
If they touch her, she dies.
What? No?
Like, or
Oh.
if they, like, harm her at all, she will
Well,
die.
no, because she had the Symphogear on.
Yeah, but she doesn't know how to control it yet at all.
Yeah, but it means she would have survived it.
So that could have been a risk.
I don't know. I don't like it. I'm not going to talk about it more.
I don't think there's an issue with that one. I think you're being a little too... Like,
Look, no,
too
I
careful
will
around it.
admit to being a degenerate. I don't think that's affecting anything. I think this is just
No,
not...
that's not what I said. I said you're being too careful around that one.
I don't
Nothing
know.
about you being a degenerate. That one, there's not really...
I strongly disliked it.
there.
My roommate was watching it with me. He hated it as much as I did. So I know I'm not alone on it either.
I didn't see it in that way. I didn't see a ton of fan service in this show, though.
There definitely
Like,
was. More than I would have.
There was fan service, but I don't think it was like that.
I'm not going to act like
as
I'm not going to
prevalent
act
this
like
year.
it was a 100% constant. It's not as I was going to save this for later. I'm going to go on to it now then, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as like one of the if you go into a show that you know is going to be like edgy comedy. Yeah, there's going to be a ton of fan service, and that's fine because yeah, there's a lot of it and that's kind of what you're going in for. This show doesn't have as much as something like that, but as a show that I feel like is trying to take itself pretty seriously, I feel like the amount of fan service that it does have takes away from its impact. The impact of the show as a whole. I think there's several aspects that actually draw away from the potency of the show as a whole. There's one of the side characters, one of Hibiki's friends, at least every other episode makes some sort of reference of like, oh, if this were an anime, or no, your life's not an anime. She does it over and over and over again in multiple different episodes. And it's like, no, This is a show trying to play itself straight. These jokes aren't funny, they're grating. And it takes away from the tone that you're building. You're taking away from the actual character drama that you're trying to make.
Are you counting that in as fan service?
That's not fan service. No, that's
I'm trying to understand your point. That's all I'm trying to do, and that confused me. Bringing
the anime references aren't part of the fan service complaint. They're part of the not the right tone complaint, which the fan service complaint is a subset of.
Okay. That's I don't think that those jokes sucked ass. Firstly, it's fucking like, this isn't an anime.
The first time she did it, God. I was like, ha, I see what you did there, fourth wall. And then 2 episodes later, she does it again. I'm like, oh, okay, we get it. And then she does it again. I'm like, fucking stop.
That's her character. But I don't think that the fan service really took out from most of it. There was like a couple times maybe, but for the most part, I don't think that was the main issue. I don't know. That's that from my perspective, at least. Obviously.
Yeah, I personally think that was one of the stronger weaknesses. I think it took away from the impact the show could have had. The story was also just a bit weak, in my opinion.
See, I just don't think there's enough there to grip an audience as much.
I feel like they almost had something good, but it had enough wrong with it that it just kind of didn't get there.
Yeah, no, like this could have been, I think, this story could have been good. I mean, like, I like Date Alive a lot. It's not like a very complex story.
Yeah.
Or anything, but it's still like fun for the most of the time. Where this one, it's like there was parts that were fun, and then parts where I was like, yeah, I guess we need to do this, don't we?
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, no, and like it was very hit or miss for me as well. Like the characters, some of them were decent, some of them not so great. The relics, I love the relics. I wrote a whole like 30-minute bit of research on the lore references of the mythological origins of the relics. That's cool to me. The idea of having to use music in some form to power your bard attacks, I dig it. And then they didn't really commit to it. They just have them sing, and not even that great. I feel like the songs weren't. I feel like the battle songs weren't great except for Chris's.
I don't even remember them.
Chris's was good. Chris's. Yeah. I don't know. This. Can I skip around? There was one really, really good shot that my roommate and I both died laughing to. This is skipping way ahead. This is in episode 8 is when this note is. Do you remember when they're fighting the octopus-looking thing that chases sound?
Yeah.
There's one shot of Miku running down the road with the octopus just running along behind her on the tentacles, and it looked so stupid that my roommate and I both died laughing looking at it. My note was, oh lordy coming.
Oh my god. Of course it was.
Oh, sorry. Wait, no, I lied. My note was, oh boy, he's slink, and then my roommate and I said, oh lordy coming. It was beautiful. It was not very well animated of a shot. It was a short shot. It was like 2 seconds, but it killed me.
Yeah, I didn't notice that one.
Oh, it was beautiful.
I think at that point, though, I wasn't paying a ton of attention to the show.
I was playing with my cat while paying just enough attention to have notes, and then every time my roommate would walk through because he was in and out, I'd be like, dude, you missed more dumb stuff, and then try to recap it for him. I think that was particularly funny. There was one time he comes down the stairs, and I'm like, they're blowing up the moon.
Yeah. Yeah, that shit happens. No, okay, what's the name of that episode?
It's called Shoot the Moon.
Yeah, Shoot the Moon. And I was like, no, there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way.
They're using...
And then that's what they do. They shoot the moon.
Big plot spoilers. She built the Tower of Babel as a gun to shoot the moon.
Yeah. Because that's the only way she could remove the curse of Baal.
Yeah, which was when God scattered people from the first Tower of Babel and screwed up languages. And if she shoots the moon, that somehow undoes the curse, because if the moon dies, there's natural disasters and people suffer, and people suffering makes everybody come together. Except that it doesn't. I don't... okay, so Chris is working for Fine. She shows up, she's wearing the armor, which is the armor of Heshishish. Fucking... Nehishtar. Nehishtan? There we go. Which I had to look that one up. That one has a pretty obscure reference. Nehishtar was the, or Nehishtan. That word, is the name of the bronze snake that Moses built in the Old Testament to cure people who were dying of snake bites. It was later branded by that name when one of the later prophets was like, hey, destroy those things, man. That was a fun one to dig into.
Yeah. I can see that one being pretty fun.
And then there was a particularly weird one. I'm going to detour into my side research because this one's kind of hilarious to me. So after they beat Chris, we meet Fine, who's the big bad. She's a naked blonde lady who has Chris held captive. She takes the armor from her, and Chris starts using her own Symphogear. She has a Symphogear, which is the what is the name they give for it? It is the Ichival.
Yeah.
The Ichival is a Japanification. It's a translation from Norse into Japanese of either Odin's bow or the home of Ulir, the Norse god of the hunt, Idalir. Because the name approximately means something like yew forest or something like that. And so that got translated to Ichival. Or yew vale, sorry. Okay. So that turns into Ichival vale.
Yeah.
And the reason this is kind of hilarious to me is because of stuff like this, where Ichival isn't actually a real item, it's named after a location. You can get the weapon Ichival in Smite, even though it's not actually a thing. Its first appearance was in Fire Emblem.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I read that. That's the best thing I've read all month.
Shit.
Everything was very thoroughly researched, as you can tell.
Yep. All right, well, what do you say we take our midpoint break?
Yeah, probably. We can talk about the second half, and I've pretty tapped out most of my research, except for one other important one I can bring up. Talk about the second half and then complain about the show. That's my plan.
All right. That works for me. All right, we'll be back shortly.
See you then.
Welcome back to the second half of this episode of A Shot of Weeb, where we're talking about Symphogear.
I'm trying so hard.
Really like it.
I'm trying so hard to think of like a witty one-liner, because I feel like I'm required to lead in with one, and it's blank the whole way. I couldn't even think of a good way to say Symphogear wrong.
Yeah, I mean, you could have just gone with the very basic Symphogear.
Closest I was getting was Guilty Gear.
Yeah, but Guilty Gear is good.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never played one.
I like the lore.
Like, half of my humor is just, like, saying names slightly wrong. I don't know, but it kills me every time. I had a really good one from Harry Potter. What was it? I don't know. I'll remember it. I'll probably remember it, like, halfway through our discussion and just shout it out with no context, I bet you.
Oh, boy. Well, let's help you remember by drinking some of the magic juice.
Oh, that'll definitely do it. I've got a different shot this time.
And we didn't say it at the beginning, but drink responsibly.
Yes, do that. Or don't drink. That's a good move too.
If you're under the age of 21,
well, yeah,
don't
definitely
drink.
If you're under 21, but if you're over 21, maybe still don't. You don't need this.
So what's your new drink this time?
Rum. This is. Do you remember the grog that I've mixed a few times on this show? This is the rum that I use in that. It's the same bottle. It's a Kraken Black Spiced rum. I think it's 70 proof. I know it's at 70%. 70 proof.
Yes, it is not 70%. That's for goddamn sure. Holy shit.
Those are different things.
Very different.
No, this is a much more pleasant drink, and I'm really looking forward to not suffering now that that stupid, awful Smirnoff is gone.
Alrighty, well, kampai.
Bye-bye.
Oh,
still strong.
it.
But not terrible.
Oh man, that burns.
Whew.
Man,
It tastes like. I mean,
I'm just not used to it.
it burns. It burns because it's alcohol, but it tastes like it reminds me of. Honestly, it reminds me of banana nut bread. Like, I'll be real. That's the thing I think of most when I sip this rum.
Weird. Okay.
I think it's the spice
Sure.
in the nut is the bit that like really stands out, and my brain just fills in the banana part. Shut up.
Nut.
Oh, we're both 12.
Yeah. So Symphogear. Where did you want to continue?
Oh, there was one thing that I
this.
forgot to mention in the first half, actually, as far as relics go. Most of them are just tiny little pieces. Like,
Oh yeah, they're not complete.
yeah, Subasa's sword, Ame no Habakiri, is just like a tiny little pendant. That's all that's left, and that's presumably what Kanade also had, although that is now splintered and in Hibiki's chest. They couldn't remove it; it was too close to the heart. The
Yeah.
exceptions being, there are two complete relics, or nearly complete relics, seen in this season. One of them is the armor of Nehishtan, I think it was called. I keep getting it
Yeah,
wrong.
I believe.
That armor was nearly complete, and there was one other called Durandal. Durandal, yeah. Which, that one I had to look up. It's French Excalibur. It was the sword wielded by the paladin Roland, who served under Charlemagne. It's French Excalibur, pretty much.
I've heard of Roland.
Yeah, that was his sword.
Gotcha.
And so that one is also 100%. They thought that neither of the complete relics could be activated. Not really. But somehow Chris activated the armor one. And
I think it wasn't fully complete at that time.
yeah, I think they said it was like 98%, whereas Durandal was like completely complete. It's kept in like secure containment, like a mile or so underground.
Yeah. And they tried to move it at one point.
Yeah, because
And,
of the traitor pulling strings. So the other thing that didn't get mentioned in episode 4, we find out there's a traitor, or it's theorized there's a traitor. They tell us who it is like way before it's actually revealed.
Basically, yeah.
Like it's easy to figure out from early on, but then when in the episode where the defense minister gets killed, they point it out pretty much.
Yeah, basically. It's not revealed until like episode 10 or something.
Yeah, but you can get it before.
Yeah, That's one of the issues I had though, with the show, is it couldn't decide what it wanted to do, if it wanted to keep it secret and like make it a twist at the end, or if it wanted to let the audience know, and so then the audience is like picking up all the clues as to like how dumb these main characters are, but it never picked a side, and so it tried to straddle the middle, but by straddling the middle it meant you figured out who it was pretty quickly, and when the big reveal happened they treated it like it was a big moment for the audience and everything, but like I feel like everybody already knew what it was.
See, here's the problem.
I don't think it was.
I have a complaint here, and it's a complaint about me, because I'm kind of fucking dense.
Yeah.
It worked on me. Like, both halves of it worked. Like, they pointed it out, and I figured it out, and then they did the twist, and I didn't get the twist. Because not only is the traitor the science lady, what was her name, Sakurai?
Yeah.
So, I knew Sakurai was the traitor. That's the bit they tell us. I didn't catch on to the fact that Sakurai was Fine until they just, like, straight up said it. So, like, I both figured out the twist and got by the twist.
Because they basically showed her, like, it would have been a really good red herring with the way they had done it if she turned out to not be. But, like, in the episode where they're transporting Durando, and, like, Sakurai, like, steps in front of Hibiki to block the noises, and her bun falls out, her glasses fly off, and it's the exact hairstyle that Fine has, and it's pretty clear that they're telling you, hey, this is Fine, because she can also do the Jedi mind trick.
Do you want to know what my thoughts during that scene were?
What?
Wow, her hair's pretty.
Oh my god.
I'm not a clever man, okay? Yeah, no, also a couple of characters just have fucking magic, I guess. Like, the director can do superhuman stuff too, and they don't really explain why.
Yes, they did. They explained why Ginjiro could do that shit.
What, he watches movies?
Yeah, he eats, watches movies, and sleeps. That's all a man needs to train.
Yeah, that doesn't explain shit.
That's more of an explanation than anything else in this goddamn show.
I mean, yeah, that's correct. Oh boy, is there anything else that I really care about bringing up before the end? There's a couple of episodes where, like, Miku and Hibiki have, like, a breakup. I got gay energy. I feel like all of the girls in this show are gay. All of them.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Okay.
Miku and Hibiki are fucking on that top bunk.
Absolutely. And then, like
Christ.
Sakurai also, like, kind of hits on the girls at times.
Yeah, she pokes Hibiki's boobs a few
She
times.
also fell in love with God, though, so she's bi at most.
Is God a man?
They refer to him with male pronouns, at least.
Yeah, but what is that like?
Yeah, she falls in love with the Christian God, by the way. That's part of the plot. I'm going to go to, like, final episode spoilers here. I don't care. Fine is...
We've already done the big
spirit. Fine is the spirit of an ancient priestess of presumably the Christian God that fell in love with God, tried to build a Tower of Babel to go into heaven and try to get some.
She was the like ringleader of the people that built the Tower of Babel.
Yeah, because she was trying to get up there to hit on God, and God was like, no. And now she's like this reincarnation spirit that, like, takes over people, and she's taken over great people throughout the ages. She's been here for every technological revolution, whatever.
This is fine.
Yeah.
That's a fine plot
That's
point.
not anything
like,
good or bad. Like, I don't feel strongly on that one. It's like, okay, all right.
It just feels like there needed to be more time. Like, this was not that thing should have been like... I realized that this show was not planned. I don't think it was planned to have multiple seasons afterwards. Because it is an original. Like, it's an original thing. It's not based on anything.
Yeah, and they don't even number the seasons. They just put different letters on it. That would give me a stroke trying to remember them.
But like, I feel like they could have had at least like hinted at like an overarching plot thing, and it could have been her, and then had like a smaller scale villain instead of starting out with blowing up the moon.
I mean, they
Which wasn't that Gru's plan in Despicable Me?
No. Gru wasn't going to blow up the moon. He was going to shrink and steal the moon.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to my big complaint. This is going to be lead into my big complaint. One of the cool reveals, there was actually a really cool reveal. There's a relic called Kadingir, which this one's origin is actually explained in the universe. It's the Sumerian word for Babylon or high place. It means the Tower of Babel. She rebuilt the Tower of Babel, and the twist that Ogawa figures out is that it is the elevator shaft to the containment segment. That's how she hid it, was by building the tower underground. And so Kadingir is the relic Tower of Babel that she's going to use to shoot the moon. Okay.
But did that one get you too?
Yeah, actually it did. Like, they did show, like, how bizarrely, like, ornate and painted the elevator shaft was, and my response was, wow, that's weird.
Also, like, early in the show, Sakurai says, yeah, I designed this thing, and it's, like, however long it was, but she specifically related it to Tokyo Tower, I believe.
Yeah, she was like, it's like the length of 2 Tokyo Towers or something.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. And I was like, and then as soon as they were like, oh, it's this tower thing, I was like, oh, okay, so it's the base. Got it. That's cool, because where do you hide something tall? Underground. Like, it wasn't like a big twist or anything for me. I didn't think of it until Ogawa said it, so like I was on board with that one. I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. That explains why it's all colorful. Oh no, I figured it out, and then when Ogawa was like, hey, no, I figured it's not Tokyo Tower, it's because they cut him off. I was like, okay, well that confirmed it. I know it's the fucking
because like 2 minutes later they actually say it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But like still, I didn't think it was that good of a twist. It was better done than the whole Sakurai twist.
Yeah, that one was definitely better done.
Because they at least like chose a direction. They're like, we're gonna hint at it, and like if you look at it, you can figure it out. But like, then we will reveal it. We won't throw all of this shit at you, and then like that kind of thing.
Yeah. That one.
So like I appreciated the effort put in. I don't think it was successful, but I think it was a much more well done than the other twist.
Yeah, that one worked on me. I kind of dig it. Okay, so the tower comes out of the ground. She's like, I'm gonna shoot the moon because cursed magic juju. I don't know.
Because that's what's keeping the curse together.
Yeah. And so we get. I'm gonna like really get in here, okay? Is that alright, or do you have something you want to bring up from before this point before I get like deep into it?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. So she's powering the tower using not Gungnir, Durandal. That's like in the base of the tower, that's what's powering the energy source. And she charges up a blast to shoot the moon, and Chris is like, okay boys, I got this. And she flies up and she starts doing her climax song. She's going to redirect the beam. Or, well, I think it's supposed to look like she's going to blow up the tower, but no, she redirects the beam so it doesn't completely destroy the moon. It just fractures a chunk of it. But she dies in the process. And I'm like, they're just going to... She's fucking going to fire it again. And then Fine is like, I'm just going to fire it again. And I'm like, see?
Yeah.
And so they're like, no. We got this. Hibiki has been sidelined because she's going full-on demon beast mode, so she's paralyzed off in the corner. And Tsubasa flies in and also does her climax song to destroy the tower, too, because it's about to fire a second time, meaning Chris's move was kind of useless, just blow up the tower. I don't know. And so yet
I think she was attempting to stop it fully, but then when she realized she didn't have enough energy to stop the blast, then she redirected it.
Yeah.
That's what Chris
Because we
did.
do also know, so her weaponry is different. We didn't really talk about what their weaponry are. Gungnir is a spear. It's the Spear of Odin.
It's supposed to be.
It looks more like a lance.
Hibiki doesn't have that.
Yeah, so she just punches. Amino Habakiri, the one that Tsubasa has, is a sword, because that one, I looked into it, it's the sword of Susanoo, which, by the way, extra trivia, Susanoo, I recognize the name of because they appear in Persona 4. It's Yosuke's persona. And also, apparently,
Yusuke.
Ame no Habakiri, the sword itself, I didn't look into it because it's spoilers, is apparently in One Piece at some point. Because it had a page on the One Piece wiki. I don't know what's up with that. I didn't look into it because I'm watching One Piece and I don't want to play myself.
Oh, yeah. It's I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it is a blade. It's a sword in One Piece as well. There is like lore around it that would be spoilers for you.
Yeah. And then the exception to the melee rule, Chris uses ranged weapons through, because hers is named after like the god of the hunt, or a bow, depending on how you think about it. So she uses crossbows, Gatling guns, missile launchers, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And one thing that I didn't mention that happens earlier, she like supercharges a weapon in a particular fight sequence, and it looks really fucking cool because she like starts building like more and more missile tubes, like support stands, like bullet feeds. It's super cool as the weaponry grows and grows the more she charges it. That I really, really liked. So she sacrifices herself. Tsubasa sacrifices herself to blow up the tower. One of those two sacrifices was kind of pointless, because they should have just blown up the tower in the first place, but whatever. Okay, fine. They're both dead. The girls of the school do some singing to like show Hibiki she's not alone, and she snaps out of beast mode. And like,
well, no, at that point, no, she wasn't in beast mode then. She had already fought with.
Oh right, she got defeated.
Sakurai or whatever the fuck, and she was laying on the ground like dying.
Yeah. So they did singing to like wake her back up, and she wakes up and her Symphogear like superpowers, and I'm like, okay, cool. So they superpowered it, and then Chris and Tsubasa just fly in like from off screen. They got rezzed by the superpower, and I'm like, okay, all right. So that fucking climax song that like you don't use because it will kill you. There's no permanency. Like, okay, so I guess I don't really care about that. And so she's like, okay, they win the day, they beat her up, and Hibiki goes to talk to her and is like, look, I know there's a good person deep down inside. And Fine, after some dialogue, is like, ha, psych, throws a chain hook into the moon fragment and starts pulling it down. And it's just like, all right, cool, everybody's an idiot, got it.
Look, okay, that shit was dumb, but I really liked it. Because it's dumb as fuck. She's like, oh, I can't blow up the moon? Okay, well here, let me just fucking lasso the moon and bring it down to us.
Hook the moon.
Yeah, exactly.
And then she immediately dies, and they're like, okay, so we've got to stop the moon fragment, and all three of them fly up and do their climax song. I'm like, okay, we get it. They sacrifice themselves. We've done this like 6 times already. So they blow themselves up, and everybody mourns the losses of the other 3, and I'm like, you've already shown we don't care about sacrifices, but whatever. We get the opening sequence again, where Miku goes and mourns over them, and then some noise surrounds them, and I'm just like, oh, so like the 3 of them are dead, air quotes, and there's noise around. I guess the Earth is fucked. Yeah, and then they just show back up.
Yeah.
They're just back. They didn't die. Do they explain how they lived? Fucking no. They're just here again. No.
They had to keep it secret.
I don't care. Give us anything. They're like, the whole point is like, if you use the fucking Bust a Nut song, if you use the climax song, you die. That's it. Except for when you don't, which is every time except the first time.
Oh no, I'm not saying like it's good.
They have one thing that they try to base. I'm losing my words. I'm frustrated and the rum's hitting. So like I don't
Based on what?
Their whole thing is that like, oh, look at that. They'll gladly sacrifice themselves, except it doesn't fucking matter because they just come back. They resurrect like 16 times. There's no permanency to the drawback of their Uber move. It just keeps.
Yeah.
They're fine.
Which means that there's no stakes anymore when they're trying to add stakes by using that move.
My roommate was downstairs with me when they showed back up. He was there actually when they blew up the moon, and I'm like, okay, so they're gone, I guess. And then they show back up, and I'm just like, all right, cool, whatever. Are they going to tell us how? Credits hit? And I'm like, no. Unless there's an after credits, but I doubt it, and there wasn't. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm just supposed to live with that, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe they'll talk about it in Season 2. I don't care. I don't really want to watch more.
Symphogear G. Let me see. I'm going to read the description here real quick. Yeah, nothing about that shit in Symphogear G.
Yeah, we're
episode
just supposed
1.
to take it.
Wikipedia description.
Just
Yeah.
roll with it. They're back. Don't question it. They blew up themselves. They sacrificed their life to save the world, but they're not dead. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
I don't fucking...
Yeah. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves too in fiction at all is when a character dies and then comes back to life.
Twice in the same
Because-
episode.
Well, not just that.
Well, especially twice in
but
the
like-
same episode.
Yeah, but like I just don't like it at all generally. Like there's exceptions. Right? Like this shouldn't be a spoiler by now, but Attack on Titan spoilers.
Wait, hold on. What season?
1.
Oh, okay,
Episode
okay,
like
okay.
fucking 3.
Okay.
When Eren dies, like it's like fuck, dude. Eren, the main character, is dead, and he comes back, and it's like, oh, okay, because it made fucking sense why he was able to survive. But then when you have shit like this, where fucking Chris was hit with the Tower of Babel laser, and then she's just there again, and then they go to blow up with the moon. She's just there.
I do.
Like, what the?
I do want to give one point that I will be nice to the show on. When all three
yeah.
of them use their fucking Overwatch ults to blow up the moon chunk, the way they did that was actually pretty cool. Like Chris just like got like this huge like line of missile launchers. Tsubasa made a giant mega big sword. Hibiki did something, I don't remember what. Point being, it was kind of cool visually.
That's fair.
I'll give them that much, I guess.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like one good thing that I will that I really want to give the show that I liked without question. And I think of all the things, it's gonna have to be specifically 2 character designs.
Okay.
Chris and Shinji Ogawa's, because he just looks like a bro.
I like Kanade's design. She had cool anime hair.
Yeah, it was just, I don't know. There's something about it I didn't like, and I hate Hibiki's design so much. Her forehead is bigger than Sakura's. Her eyes are like fucking this thin. Like her hair is brush it once in your life. Brush your hair once.
She has the side things though, which is kind of cool. It's kind of cat shaped. I don't know. I think that's all right.
It looks like shit.
Okay, that's a bit more aggressive than I think deserves.
Hibiki's design is hot fucking garbage. How is that the main character of this franchise?
Genjiro looks amazing though. I love Genjiro so much.
Genjiro's fine.
Best character.
I like his design. Oh, I also I had one more character. Miku's design is very good as well. Genjiro's design is fine. I've just seen it many times.
I mean,
outside of this show,
there's a reason I called him Lysandra. Let me see if I can find a picture of him.
I mean, I think I know who you're talking about.
I have a Pokemon card that I actually use for, like, I technically have some Pokemon decks. I haven't gotten to play it in a long time, but check your Discord. I'm sending it to you. I might post it in the video upload if I'm actually remember. That's why I called him Lysander. It's the same. They're the same guy.
No, they're pretty similar. No, I was pretty sure that's who you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, man, the show just half the time it's really ugly. To me, that's a very personal personal taste thing, though. So if you think the show looks good, more power to you. Like, there's some really good animation cuts here and there, but like,
I think it looks fine. Like, there's nothing visually to complain about much, but I don't think it's outstanding or anything. I mean, I think a few of the characters' eyes are a bit unsettling because they're like large even for anime standards, I feel. I don't know. I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain about most cuts of the designs unless it's really egregious. I showed my roommate the cut from Assassin's Pride, the one I about had an aneurysm yelling about in that episode.
I literally don't even remember it.
Oh, it was... Be glad. It physically hurt me.
It's been so long since we watched that
show.
Go
back and, not you, our audience, feel free to check out, if you want to know what I'm talking about, if you want to see a good old-fashioned rant, because I'm pretty sure I got heated, go check out our episode on Assassin's Pride. It was like episode 9 or 10, I think, of ours. It looks like 10.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But do be warned, I'm pretty sure that's still the crunchy mic.
Oh, was that still in the crunchy mic era?
I believe so.
Oh, man, that just makes my anger even better, man. You get to hear me drunk and rage with, like, a crunchy mic.
Yeah, you got the Call of Duty lobby mic, and, like...
Because I still had this headset, the same kind of headset, so I was using this, like, stock mic that comes on my Logitech G32 gaming headset. Yeah. It's not great.
It's not a terrible mic, but like...
I could definitely have had worse mics. I could definitely have had better mics. I mean, even this one that I'm using now isn't amazing, but it's at least, like, quote-unquote low-level professional, I think.
Yeah. It's a very solid USB mic. But...
Do I have any more of these that I want to bring up? As far as the relics go, there was one other one that was kind of cool. I briefly mentioned the Dragon of Revelation. The only aspect of that is particularly cool is it's not just a relic. The way the Dragon of Revelation came together was, it was the armor of Neusten and the staff of Solomon's staff. So those two relics fused together, like, with Fine, and a bunch of noise that she absorbed. So all of those four things together, throw them in a fucking crock pot and let it sit. That turned into Dragon of Revelation. I'm like, okay, that's kind of nifty.
Yeah. I did like that they introduced that concept of, like, fusion.
Yeah, because that's what's happening to Hibiki, technically, is the shards by her heart are starting to, like, merge with her.
Yeah, and that's what Sakurai was experimenting on and using Hibiki for.
Yeah, because once she realizes Hibiki can do that, she does the same thing to herself with the armor of Neusten.
And who knows if, like, it might have been possible to remove those shards from her, but, like, Sakurai was just like, no.
Well, I mean, I don't think Sakurai was the one who... She would have gone to, like, a regular hospital, I'm sure.
I don't know, because she saw Tsubasa and Kanade, and they would have had to take her to make sure that she signed the NDA agreement.
Possibly, I guess. I don't know.
So I think there's a possibility of that. I'm not saying that happened. I'm trying to give the show a little credit, but, like, I don't...
Oh, I do also want to give one of the things that they do cool with music. I mentioned that I really, really liked Chris's battle theme. It's the only battle theme that actually really stood out to me because it's more of a high energy. It feels like a
It feels like a battle
it
theme.
feels like a song that Saki from Zombieland Saga would write.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that kind of
100%,
energy.
yeah. Yeah.
After Chris dies but also doesn't die, there's like a
Which time?
the first time when she deflected the beam.
Yeah.
There's like a slow harpsichord version of that song playing as she falls, and I'm just like, okay, that's I like that. That's what's the fucking term? I'm not a music theorist. I watch Sideways. Leitmotif or just motif, something like that. That's her song, and so like even in other ways they work that song in an alternate form to fit the theme because it's still her song. I'm just like, okay, that's cool. I appreciate the effort you put into adapting that song to the circumstances. That was good.
Yeah.
Look at me talking like I know music theory. I can't even read music.
Yeah, no, but like for a show that's like the whole concept, it does a pretty garbage job with it for the most part.
Yeah, their singing is okay at best, and that's literally the premise.
And sometimes like it's fine, you know, like if you're in the middle of a battle, like it would make sense that you might be like out of breath and shit.
Except they don't.
And you can't sing.
They don't even do
every
that
word
though.
correctly.
Like their singing's not great, but it's steady. It's not affected by their exertion, except for a little bit. Some of Hibiki's song is adjusted to her being like unsteady and like not used to combat. But like everyone else, they'll sing through the full combat no matter how much effort or movement or exertion they're doing. Their song doesn't change, even though they're supposed to be actively singing it while they do the thing. Like there's no way.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be railing on this show so much. I don't hate it that much. They made a good pun. Fine tries to uses like a shield ability, and it's called Asgard, which, I mean, it fits with the Norse, but it's also Asgard. I kind of liked that.
Okay. I did like... There was a joke that I did really like.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first time, I believe, that they were fighting Chris. And it was just Hibiki, you know, because... or no, it must have been the second time, because Tsubasa came back from the hospital.
Hold on.
Or whatever.
Hold on. Salad Bar Slytherin. That's what it was. The founder of Hogwarts. I called him Salad Bar Slytherin. I fucking remembered it.
All right. Oh my god. Okay, so
continue your point.
When Hibiki was fighting Chris, and I'm pretty sure Tsubasa was in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was our second time fighting Chris, and then Hibiki's like not actually. She's just defending against Chris because she's like, we're humans, we can understand each other, you know, that whole thing. And then Chris like is about to do her like finishing blow to Hibiki, and then she hits against metal, and it's just this like giant like metal plate. It's got engravings on it. She's like, a shield? Where did this come from? And then the camera just like zooms out and up slightly, and Tsubasa's just standing on top of it like, no, it's a sword. It's like, no, at that point it's a fucking shield. This thing is way too fucking big. But like just the way she said it, and like the camera work, it was very well done.
Oh, I missed that. I'm kind of intrigued.
That was really good.
I've realized one other thing I can roast the show about, but I don't think I need to do that. I've already been way too brutal.
Do it.
Okay, so remember that whole conflict about how Tsubasa hates Hibiki for basically being Kanade 2? And she can't stand that? So there's like this whole bit, and like they like fight or whatever, and then Ogawa has a conversation with Hibiki and is like, hey, she's angry about the loss. Don't abandon her. She needs people, blah, blah, blah. And so Hibiki keeps trying to befriend her.
Mm.
They don't have a conversation where Hibiki's like, hey, I know I can't ever be Kanade, but I'll try my best. They don't have a conversation where Tsubasa's like, I realize I'm letting my grief get to me and I'm taking it out on you, which is unfair. No, they don't actually resolve any of that. Hibiki sees her room as a mess, cleans it, and suddenly they're friends now. Never touched again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't... They just dropped that line completely. It's like, you could have maybe done something with that and had some development, but no, that's too much to ask for.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, way too much.
Yeah. I need to stop kicking fandom nests. I should have learned after Girls in Panzer. We're going to get...
Hey, we'll get engagement, baby.
Hey, I mean, I suppose it's better than no engagement. I live for the day when I get another 4-page essay in our comments.
Yeah. Oh, man, that would be great. I would love that. All right. Well, is there anything left for us to talk about?
I don't think so. Not unless I ramble about relics, but I don't think that's worth doing. I've already mostly gone over them.
Say, unless you want to bring up, like, the fan service thing again.
I don't think it's worth it. We don't
continue that.
We're not on the same page with that one, and I don't think I can really say more than I already have.
And also, just for context, we did talk about it a little bit during the break. We didn't really, like, fully go into it or anything, but, like, we kind of discussed it.
My last comment regarding fan service, I've already kind of mentioned. I'll bring it up again during final thoughts, so I'll just wait till then. Wait until it's my turn for that.
I think we're right about that time, honestly.
Do you want me to go ahead and just hop in then?
If you want to go and hop in, that works. Go for it.
I like the idea of Symphogear. It's not what I'd hoped. That's not in and of itself a reason to dislike the show. I'll acknowledge that. The problem is I feel like it could have been done so much better. There's like conflicts and plot lines that just kind of fizzle out and don't end up happening. There's probably the strongest action you can take in this show supposed to have the consequence of fucking dying, and they just nullify any and all consequence and therefore stakes to that because characters can just come back with literally no reason. It loses a lot of its potency from that. That combined with what I said between in between filming was that, like, I feel like this show is trying to be serious. It's telling a legitimate narrative. It theoretically has character conflicts and growth that aren't handled very well, but it has them. It tries to be intriguing. But then it also just goes for what I think were pretty egregious fan service shots just out of nowhere that I think really take away from the atmosphere that this show is attempting to build. They start doing with the this is an anime character, they start doing like meta jokes that I feel like take away from the atmosphere of what I feel like the show is trying to go for. It kind of feels like you mentioned, where the way you perceived it, the show didn't really know which plot line it was trying to go for per se, or whether it was trying to stick with the reveal or with the twist. I feel like it was that way with its tone. It couldn't seem to put a finger on what the tone it was going for was. That's the way I see it. This show could be good in theory. This show as it is now, ain't it. 4 out of 10 for me.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, no, it's there. I wanted to like this show because I know a lot of people do enjoy it, right? And so I was like hoping. I was like, hey, maybe I'll find a new show I like. That'd be cool. But there's just so many things that I don't, and I really don't understand. And it's something I want to understand, like why there is this big following for it. Because from what I've seen, it doesn't. I don't know if it really deserves it necessarily, But like, there's 4 other seasons, so whatever. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe it gets better. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? But like, yeah, like I don't think that this show it knew what it was trying to do. Like kind of like you said, like where it never knows the tone, or it doesn't feel like it at least. It knows the tone that it wants to take. It never really like is able to stay consistent, I guess, in that. Or so there are moments of like fan service and like or moments of like more where they're trying to be more serious and like have heartfelt discussions between two characters to try to like work through stuff, that kind of thing, and like building the relationship between Miku and Hibiki. I think was done really well for the most part. Even their big fight, like all that made sense, and like with what was going on.
They are pretty cute together.
And the way that Miku reacted to it all made sense again, like because like she was like hurt, and then she realized that she'd fucked up. She didn't know what she needed to what she should do anymore, and then like it all made sense. It was really well done. And then they try to blow up the moon, which is just inherently a fucking joke. Like, it doesn't matter, like, how, like, it's almost the plot of Despicable Me, which I know, actually, wait, that might have come out first. Symphogear's based on Despicable Me,
no,
dude? Did we uncover that here?
No, Symphogear's old. It was 2012.
Symphogear's 2012.
No, I'm snooping in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I need some fact check here.
Holy shit, Despicable Me's 10 years old? That's 2010.
That's 11 years, buddy.
What is time?
Yeah, dude, all right.
No, that's...
I think we figured it out. Symphogear is based on Despicable Me, and that's where they went wrong.
Old.
Is they didn't get Steve Carell.
Despicable Me
but no.
came out when I was 12. That does not sound right.
That would be right.
That doesn't sound right. It's objectively right. That doesn't sound right.
That sounds right to me.
That movie's not that old.
There's been 3 of those movies and 1 Minions movie.
Then again, I was in a different chat recently when I said that Frozen came out like 2 years ago.
Frozen 2 didn't even come out 2 years ago, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't have a very good perception of years.
I mean, I don't either. I don't either. But that's a different issue. To wrap this all up, not very great. Won't be getting around to much more of it soon. 4 out of 10.
Yo, we agreed on a score. That's always a cause of celebration.
That's always a cause of pain, for sure.
I was wavering on giving it a 3, but I don't think it's actually bad enough to fall in with my other 3s.
I almost did midway through the episode.
This puts it.
But then I remembered that it was not hard to watch. Like, it was a very easy watch. I never felt like I was forcing myself to continue, for the most part. Like, obviously there were some lulls, but for the most part I was like, all right, well, let's watch the next episode, and we'll just keep on the pace. Like, I'm pretty sure I watched 7 episodes basically one go, and then I did 4.5 and 1.5.
See, I watched all of it more or less in a straight shot through today with very minor breaks, and so it was very much turning into kind of a, all right, are we almost done? How many more do we have left? Can I stop soon? But I don't think it falls in with my 3s. This is going to be, you're going to shoot me for this sentence. This puts it in company right next to Asobi Asabase and Dead Leaves.
You bitch.
Oh, he's flying to my state right now. He's gone.
That's it. I'm done. I'm done with your shit, buddy.
Put your headset back on. We've got a show to finish, dang it.
Oh, God.
So, All right. I'll go ahead and hit the shill. I'll hit the shill fast. You can find this show on YouTube or on Anchor or any other site that you find your podcasts on, whichever one you prefer. We're most likely on it through Anchor. If you want to support us, we do get a slight kickback through Anchor through an ad read, or you can donate directly through Anchor if you feel so inclined. However, it is most definitely not required. I'm kicking into my southern drawl. That's how you make it sound nice and friendly.
It actually does work.
You can follow us on our socials. He is on Twitter as Seaweed AMB. He is on YouTube, I think, also as Seaweed AMB. He does videos.
Seaweed Ambassador.
Seaweed Ambassador, my bad. I don't have a YouTube channel yet. But I am also on Twitter at The Epic Wob. You can see me occasionally post about my anime experience, but generally talk about updates on this show. So if you want to keep informed about A Shot of Weeb itself, follow me on Twitter. That's the best way to do that.
Mm-hmm. I repost VTubers a lot.
He does repost VTubers a lot. That accent wasn't forced at first, and then I started hamming it. I'm gonna dial back.
Yeah.
I do have a little bit of drawl if I'm not paying attention, but that was getting forced.
Yes, it was. Good night.
At least I wasn't trying to be British.
British? You weren't trying to be what?
We're never going to get a following in England if we keep this up.
It's not even a real place, mate. It's not even real.
It only exists on Tuesdays.
No ghosts on Tuesdays.
Fuck. Okay.
Oh, continue.
Okay.
Continue with your show.
I think I'm done with the shill.
Oh, that means it's my turn.
So, I do want to give a point before you say what the next show is. I don't think this is really said, except for the episodes where it's something that neither of us have seen, because those we really have to discuss that ahead of time, because odds are if I suggest a show, he's already seen it. He's seen every anime ever.
No, not even close.
If it's a my choice or a his choice episode, 9 times out of 10, the other person does not know what episode we're doing next until we say it at the end of recording.
That's true.
That is generally a constant with our show. So
it's not even like a rule. It's not something that we like put in place. It's just something we do.
I like to spring shows on you because there are pretty much no shows that you could bring up that I would say no to, and I already know which ones you would say no to. So
and there's only like 2 of them.
Yeah.
So
one of which I kind of want to watch, but whatever.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's like 3 of them. But like yeah.
Either way, point being, next week is your choice, and I have no idea what it is. What fresh batch of suffering are you about to throw me into? I've got the pen and the notebook handy.
I'm not going to throw you into any suffering. What the fuck? That's fucked up, dude. Everything I choose is a banger.
That's objectively false. Anyway, what show are we watching?
Oh,
he's got the Blu-ray.
That's right, buddy. I got the Blu-ray. We're going to be watching a favorite of mine. I've been wanting to rewatch it for a little bit. And you have any idea?
How?
It's 12 episodes.
Do you realize how little that narrows it down?
That narrows it down to like 50 shows. It's going to be Free. We're watching the first season of Free. The swimming anime. Okay, yeah, you say that about every sports anime I bring up, and every time what happens? Oh, yeah. Banger.
Is it on a level with Prince of Stride?
Yeah.
Okay. If we've got Prince of Stride energy, I'm on board. Does it have an exclamation point on it?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure to write that down.
1 exclamation point. No, it's in my top 5 sports anime of all time. With Haikyuu, so it's like Haikyuu, Free, Ashita no Joe, Prince of Stride, and Skate, baby! Skate just recently.
I have seen 1.5 of those.
Oh,
I watched a couple episodes of Skate with you, like 3 or 4.
Okay. Yeah, so like 1 of the 3rd, but still, yeah. Yeah, it's a banger. And it's gonna be a great time. You better like it, because otherwise hellfire will come down upon thee.
Fair enough. I think I might be able to just go ahead and write down what my choice is going to be the week after. I'm pretty sure I've already picked.
Yeah, but what happens if you decide no?
Yeah, that's why I generally don't write it down until it's set in stone. Quote unquote set in stone. I'm pretty sure we have bailed on our announced episode at least once.
No, we never have. There was one episode that we changed, but everything that we've said we were going to do, we have done.
We changed it? When did we change it? Like during recording?
No. Like I had said I wanted to do this one. I was like, no, I want to wait. It was a show that I don't want to name because we'll probably talk about it at some point.
It'd be on the old sticky note. That was
yeah,
and updated before I started writing in the notebook.
Yes, it was on the sticky note. Like it was a long time ago. But yeah, so I think that's gonna do it for this episode though of A Shot of Weeb, episode 38.
Episode 38, I do believe that is correct.
Symphogear.
Yeah. We'll be here next week with the fucking show he just mentioned. Whatever. Free.
Yeah, free.
We'll be here next week with Free.
Oh my god.
We'll see you at our usual time of Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern time if you want to catch it as soon as it's uploaded.
You best not be disrespecting Free when we make this episode.
I am gonna roast Free whether I like it or not. See you next week. Bye.
Gat. Bye-bye.